am so excited to make this video because I am the person people come to for financial advice. I am the Don Dada of finances, and I'm so excited to share every single thing that I know with you guys so that you guys can apply it to your own lives and be that person for other people too, because being the person that people come to for financial advice is the real flex, okay? That is like, no, I'm just playing. So I'm gonna start with giving you guys my job experience of where I've worked, because you can't save or manage money if you don't have any money coming in. Like, what are you saving? So my first job was, I was 14 when I got my first job. I'm 20 years old right now, so I'm technically not a teenager anymore, but I'm still pretty young. I'm turning 21 in 3 weeks, you guys. I'm really excited. But anyways, my first job I got when I was 14. I was in 8th grade working at my middle school. It was like this special program where you could find somewhere to work and this program would fund it and pay for it. So I don't remember how much they were paying me. It was probably minimum wage or less than that. But I was working after school with my gym teacher and my Spanish teacher with kindergarten or smaller children. Just assisting. I was like a teacher's assistant. So that was what I was doing when I was 14. When that ended, I was in an awkward place because you have to be at least 16 years old to get a job where I live. So I wasn't 16, but I was making money, and I didn't want to go from making money consistently to now having to wait 2 years to work. That was so crazy to me. But I think I did. I had to wait a year because at the end of the day, there's really nothing you can do. You have to be 16. You have to be 16. But I think I remember like Party City, which was my next job after that, maybe it being like 15 and a half or whatever. So the problem was I didn't have any job experience to get like a job anywhere else because I wasn't old enough to work. So it's like that thing, you need experience, but nobody will hire you. So what I did was work seasonally. So if you're having a hard time getting experience, you can get seasonal jobs. So like if it's Halloween, October-ish, September, October, Party City's hiring, or the Halloween costume stores are hiring because that's Halloween season. If it's December, Toys R Us is not in business anymore, but at the time they were in business. But even December, the mall is hiring. November, from September to like January is a huge time for retail. So if it's the holidays time, which right now at this time of video it's August, the malls are getting ready to be hiring for the holiday rush. So if you need job experience, working anywhere in the mall will be great for you. So wait, let me backtrack. I got my first job outside of working at my school at Party City in September when they were hiring for the holiday season. That's how I got my job experience. After that, in October, November, I got hired at Toys R Us. I worked there for like a month or two. Party City, I did a month or two. Hold on a second. I need to backtrack this video because I just want to tell you guys who I am, really. I'm just kidding. But I was able to save $5,000 by the time I was 18. It was actually a little bit more. It was almost $6,000 to buy my first car, which was a 2008 Infiniti. And then a year passed, and then I was like, I kind of feel like I'm a big girl. At this point, I was 19, and I bought a Mercedes-Benz. And it was super nice, and I got into a car accident. We're not going to talk about that. So I went from saving all the money that I needed for my car to having to pay $400 a month for insurance. My insurance was in my name. It was $400 a month, which is ridiculous. That's not a good price at all. To then buying a Benz and being able to pay for that, having a monthly payment, and having to pay for insurance and gas and all that. So I do know what I'm talking about. I have saved lots of money. I just wanted to put that in there so you guys don't think I'm just some random person who, like, you know. So anyway, so the seasonal jobs lasted a month or two each. After Toys R Us, 4 months went by. I got a job at Shaw's, which is a grocery store, and I worked there for a year and a half. So I was able to get some job experience by hopping around seasonally and getting experience that way. And with those seasonal jobs with Party City and Toys R Us, you had to be 16. Some jobs in the mall do require you to be 18, but some of them don't. So you just have to call around and see who will let you be 16 and who doesn't. So I worked at Shaw's, a grocery store, for a year and a half, and I got a lot of job experience there. But then I outgrew it. I was tired of it. I wanted something different. I was a cashier there, by the way. I did cashiering, and then I also worked at the service desk a little bit, which was kind of fun. I won't lie to you guys. So then after Shaw's, I worked at Victoria's Secret seasonally in the mall in September to January. So I'm working on my storytelling. So when I was working at Shaw's, I did a summer program where I was did an internship at the hospital. So after Victoria's Secret was over, the hospital was hiring. So I was able to get a job in the hospital as a central transport aide. And then that was my job for another year and a half before I quit and became a full-time entrepreneur. So that was my job experience. When I was working at Party City, Toys R Us, I was making minimum wage. When I worked at the grocery store, I was making minimum wage. And when I worked at Victoria's Secret, I was making $12 an hour. And when I worked at the hospital, I was making about $14.25 per hour plus double pay. So double pay is a 17-hour shift. For the first 8 hours, you make straight time, which is $14.25 an hour, and then you get double that every hour for 8 hours for the rest of the shift. So for the 8 hours of the second half of the shift, I was making like $28 an hour. It's a lot of work. 17-hour shift is not something I'd recommend. But I was able to save the $6,000 while I was making minimum wage. So I didn't start making $12 an hour until around the time I was about to buy my car. So just want to put that out there. So I was able to save this money making minimum wage, and you can do it too, and here's how you do it. So I have a whole list so that I don't forget anything and I make sure that I'm thorough. And I talk really fast, so just bear with me. So my financial advice, number 1, you need to first want to do it. If you don't want to save your money, you're not going to save it. And there's nobody on earth that's going to make you save your money unless your parents make you, which I think would be so good because long term you're going to want to have that money saved. You have to want to save your money. You have to have something that you're saving for, something to look forward to, or else taking money out of the money that you went to work for and earned is going to be really, really hard for you, and you're never going to reach your financial goals if you just don't want to. So you're going to have to want to do it to begin with. I think there's this saying that life is so short, but life can also be really, really long. And if you do make it to like 80 years old, you're gonna wish that you had money saved. You're gonna wish that you had invested your money in something that was still paying you money from that initial principal that you invested. So I just want you guys to understand saving is super, super important. There's a million different reasons why you should save, and it's something worth your time because you never know what could happen in life. So switch your mentality. It's not losing out on money. It's not sacrificing anything. Saving is important. So the second thing is you need a balance of living and saving. This video is for teenagers, so I imagine your living expenses aren't that high right now. If you're able to save 60% of your paycheck, I would recommend it. It's aggressive, I know, but that is what I did. Majority of my checks were put into savings because I knew that one day I would want something that was more expensive that I would have to buy myself. I bought my car with all my own money, and if I hadn't saved that much of my check, the amount would have been much, much lower. So if you can save 60% of your check, if you don't have any bills to pay, if all you're really worried about is food and going to the movies, 60% of your check is ideal. I was making about $120 a week after taxes, and 60 of it went into savings. And as someone who didn't have any bills at the time, $60 a week is it's enough. Like, what are you really doing that you need $60 a week? I mean $120 a week every single week, like on food. That's such a waste of money. I hope you guys can understand how you're never gonna see that food again. You're never gonna get that. Like, save 60% of your check. That's it. If you can. I understand everybody's living situation is different. There might be 16-year-olds out there who do have to pay bills, who are responsible for family members and stuff like that. But if you can, save 60% of every single check and be disciplined. It's worth it, I promise. I want to make sure you understand is you're not missing out on anything by saving your money. Like, there will be a million opportunities in life to do what you want to do. Saving money is necessary for your soul, okay? Because when you're driving around in that Mercedes that you were able to afford because 2 years ago you were disciplined and saved your money, you're going to be really, really happy. So, investing. Invest. You have to be 18 to invest, but I'm pretty sure your parents can open up a joint account for you where you can start investing, so you don't have to wait till you're 18. Here's the thing about investing. A lot of people think dividend investing is a waste of time because the amount of money it takes to make a lot of money from dividends is so high. But let's use the example, you made it to 80 years old. Let's say you're 80 years old and you're making $1,000 a month off of money that you invested when you were 16 years old. Why is that like a debate? I'm confused on what people are confused about. Yeah, you could start an online business or go on eBay and sell products, but that's something that you're going to have to actively do to make money. And when you're 80 years old, you're not going to feel like it. When you're 40 years old, you might not feel like it. You might not feel like it tomorrow. So it's just like you're going to want to build something that you can make money from every single month for the rest of your life without having to lift a single finger. You're not going to have to do a single thing to make that dividend money when you are older. You don't have to wait till you're 80. You could be 40. And if you start now, you're going to have you're going to have such a strong, solid foundation. Investing is something that grows your money for you where you don't have to do any single work. Right now, you have to go to work to make money. Investing is something that your money is doing all the work for you just by you investing it. So that's something that non-negotiable. Start your investment portfolio. The younger you are, the better off you are, because the older you get, the less time you have, the less time your money has to compound and to make more money for you. So investing in dividend stocks. Some examples, you can Google the dividend aristocrats, which are companies that have paid consistent dividends for the last 25 years. Those will give you like a strong idea of what to invest in. You can invest in McDonald's, you can invest in UPS, you can invest in Nike, you can invest in O Realty Group, Realty Income. You can invest in Sunoco, you can invest in ExxonMobil, you can invest in all kinds of things. UPS and McDonald's have the highest returns that I've seen, so those are two great options, and you can just pick two and start investing. And I promise you, when you are older, you're gonna look back and be like, I'm so glad, because you're gonna be in such a better position than most people your age. So a lot of the foundations, the things that you're building right now are not for you right now. They're for you down the line, but it's crucial that you start doing it today, like yesterday actually. The other thing I want to talk about is finding ways to increase your income. I feel like a lot of people associate making more money with working more hours. In order to make money, you have to go to work. But that's not the case. You can increase your income and create and find ways to increase your income that do not involve you clocking in. And it's going to be on you to do the research to figure out how to do that. As a 16, 17, 18-year-old, I don't expect you to be able to go out and buy a house and flip a house and do all that. But I do expect you to do the research and find out what it takes. You can just take it little by little. Just educate yourself on things that you're not being taught in the classroom. Increasing your income has nothing to do with working more. The standard is to go to work because that's the most popular option, that's the most talked about and explained option. But you can increase your income by getting a rental property and having people live in the property and pay you rent. You can increase your income by having dividend stocks. You can increase your income by starting another business and things like that. And like I said, I don't expect you to go out and do these things as a teenager. Even though there are teenagers that are doing it, that's not the standard. But I'm expecting you to educate yourself on what does it look like to buy a house? What does it look like to invest in the stock market, and watch videos and read and do things like that, so that when you are 21, 22, 23, you can be ahead and you can already have the information and now act on it. You can be a homeowner at 22 years old and have that rental property. So that's going to be something that's super important. It's super possible. That is possible. Don't let anyone say, you're so young, da-da-da-da. No. You can do that, and you should. You shouldn't wait until you're 50 years old to have all your ducks in a row. So find ways to increase your income that do not have to do with going to work. Having a business is optional. Being an entrepreneur and a CEO is totally optional. You don't have to. But having multiple streams of income is not optional. That is not an option. If the pandemic didn't teach you anything, is that if one stream of income is no longer, if your job, you get fired, what are you going to do? And that's something that you're closer to being an adult than you realize, and closer to being on your own than you realize. You're going to have to be able to pivot really quickly, because you still have to eat every day. You still have to, things still have to get paid every single day. So multiple streams of income is necessary, and that's what I want you guys to think about. And that's something that you need to be learning about and establishing today. You don't have to buy the house today, but just learn about the process today, okay? I'm speaking very fast in these videos, just watching a couple of them back, and I'm really, really sorry. I hope that you guys are able to understand the things that I'm saying and clearly grasp the concepts. I'm really working on my speaking abilities, so if you have any questions, just make sure you comment them, because I want to be as clear and help as many people in the best way as possible. So that kind of, though, sums up the video, wraps up the video. Save 60% of your check. If you cannot save 60% of your check, guess what? Save the maximum amount you can and be strict with yourself. If you can save 50%, save it. Don't be like, well, I can save 50%, but I'm only going to save 10%. No, because you're only hurting yourself. And nobody is coming to save you, most likely. If you're watching this video, a lot of people don't have people that can give them large amounts of money like that. You're going to be doing yourself a disservice by not being as disciplined as possible and saving the money. So save what you can afford to save comfortably. If you can only save 30%, save 30%. If you can only save 10%, save 10%. But if you can save that 60%, I'm telling you, in a year or two, you're going to be so glad you did. Mentality. Make sure you want to save the money. Because if you don't, it's going to be torture. You're going to be dragging your feet. You're going to be miserable. Make sure your head is in the right space to be able to save. Learn a skill. Increase your income without getting another job. If you can increase your income without getting another job, you won at life, really. Because that's something that people, first of all, are not even aware of how to do, and something that they never do. So if you can do that, I'm super, super proud of you. Good luck. And let me know if you guys have any questions. Let me know if you want another video similar to this, or if you want me to explain a topic further into detail. I did my best, but I know that explaining something when you already know the answer is a little bit different. So I hope that I was able to answer all your questions. But yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.